Sacramento experiences a number of events that have really traumatic impact on it. It begins with the flood in January of 1850. It creates a lake in the Central Valley of California. Some say that it was 300 miles long and the width of the valley. And it is known historically as the Great Inundation. This flood put Sacramento underwater. It put that whole valley underwater. In fact, relief ships from San Francisco came after they got through the Carquinez Straits, not by way of the river channel. They just cut across in a straight line to Sacramento. They went over what was land. In fact, and one story I've heard is as the water receded, one ship was caught out of the channel and left high and dry. But it's a horrible flood, and it has dramatic impact on the city. People flee their businesses, go to upper floors. In some cases, they move to the levee, closer to the river, because it's a little higher. So that's a tradition that will happen for the whole decade. That Sacramento is periodically visited by floods. I think one winter they had 3 floods that winter. But floods are not the only thing. In the spring of 1850, the disease cholera popped up in Sacramento. It wasn't an epidemic, it just came and went, and it alarmed people greatly because it was a disease they didn't know much about. By the fall of 1850, in October 1850, we have an epidemic, and the epidemic is just unbelievable. Probably half of the population of Sacramento ran away. They fled. People were dying so fast, 600 plus were buried in a common grave at the city cemetery. They opened a big pit, filled it with lime, and put them in it. They died too fast to put them in regular individual graves. Terrible impact on the city. But if that isn't enough, then it's besieged by fires. In November of 1852, a fire begins up near 6th and I Streets, and it sweeps through the town, burns 80% of the city to the ground. And that prompts the city to say, we're going to have a municipal water system. We're not going to be caught down like this. So they build the waterworks in Old Sacramento. And in 1854, the waterworks building is complete, but the plumbing out to the city, the distribution system's not complete, only partially complete. They have another fire, and they deem it a great success. Only 50% of the city burned to the ground. But in fact, that water system would prove to limit those fires in the future. We didn't ever have any more of those great conflagrations anymore.